And Mayor Ronnie Marks joins us also. It's a pleasure to have the sheriff and the mayor up here.
No, wow.
How cold was it yesterday morning with that Gustavo jacket
Actually,
you had
it wasn't too bad, and it did look a little that way.
Well, last year y'all had to borrow my umbrella, you and Stanley, because it was raining.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It was raining. That's
I guess
had a good crowd yesterday. Had a great crowd.
I didn't get down to the church yesterday, but I'll
and
say
then
that
at Sweet Home Church, I mean, it was a packed house. Judge Jimmy Woodruff was a guest speaker and did a fabulous job as always, and he just does such a really good job. He brings things down home and down to earth and talks about the right people saying the right thing and doing the right thing, and that's what this community and country ought to be all about.
Did you go to Charles Woodruff's swearing-in ceremony?
That's Sunday.
I was his opponent.
Well, let me just tell you what. You would have had a hard time of outdoing his speech that he made on his swearing-in ceremony. I was thoroughly impressed. I mean,
I saw him yesterday in the video. I got some of him walking around. Charles did a great job down that way. So everybody, and give a shout out to Brad Kernut too for being elected in charge of it. What else is happening in the great city of Athens, Ronnie?
Got a lot going on. We've been doing a lot of time doing some planning, doing December and in January, and got a lot of capital requests. The biggest challenge right now is back to what we've talked about for years here, and that's infrastructure. And we're also trying to find a way to roll into fleet management. We've done that with police cars a few years ago, and now we're trying to look at the big ticket items like garbage trucks. We got a critical need for about 3 garbage trucks for the city of Athens, and they're about $300,000 each. So
ooh, wow.
that's
I used to do that, pick up garbage the old-fashioned way. Maybe I could get my own truck.
And we're looking at lease purchase and some other options with that, and then for over the next few years, continue to roll in. We've just kicked that can down the road with so many items over the past few years that we're in a catch-up mode. But it's a good time.
Ronnie, when we go to a church down with John LEDs at Cross Point on Sundays, I noticed, man, when you hit County Line Road, everything's building right there on 72.
Yes.
How much does that hurt the city of Athens tax?
Don't know yet. We're constantly watching our tax revenue figures and other figures, but anything that's building into Huntsville and Madison there. And now, of course, you know, Decatur is annexed into Calhoun Community College, and my thoughts are that, you know, their issue is not Calhoun Community College. They want the farmland that touches that touches the next piece of property, and so we're getting annexed from every side. It's a challenge for us to continue to have our autonomy and build our community and build our city inside, but we got a lot of opportunities. We got 39 square miles of property inside the city limits of Athens.
Now, do you see Athens city limits expanding its boundaries?
I would be open to talk with anyone that would like to come to the table to talk to me.
just remember, we want quality, not quantity.
That's exactly right. You're right, Sheriff. Thank you.
They ain't gonna never get out your way.
We do.
Hey, listen, I don't want them to come across the river. As a matter of fact, you know, if I'm not going to be sheriff anymore, then I think I would blow up all the bridges on Elk River and have a ferry where you could just barely get back and forth across the other side of the river.
You were out of town Saturday. Bill of Rights thing. They had a pretty good crowd for that.
Pretty good crowd. Looked like
Rex
200 or
did a
300
good job
people.
emceeing all of that. You were there. Politicians weren't allowed to speak.
Wow,
I
that's
saw Dan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, did you ever say anything?
No. But I didn't want to. I mean,
Well, what the rumor,
Just there.
let's put that rumor that's a myth that you are against people owning guns.
Well, Lord, no. I have a 8-year-old grandson that I bought him a rifle and a shotgun. You know, the bottom line, this is a polarizing issue.
Yes.
And, you know, of course, my thing is, instead of gun control for dealing with the problems we've had from the mass killings, we need to put money in mental health, and that's where we need to look at it. But, you know, a lot of people get so polarized, you know, and the reason I think people are thinking, you've been seeing these people thinking that they've they're in danger of losing their rights to bear arms. First of all, if people believe that, they need to sit back and they need to find out the facts. Number one, the president don't want to take the citizens, law-abiding citizens' guns. Number two, you know, a lot of reason for this fear, and I understand why people, I got a lot of good friends that was at that rally, and they are terrified because they have been inundated with propaganda put out by the NRA and a lot of the, you know, groups that have things to gain by this. But, you know, some of the things in the president's executive orders, and, you know, and of course, I haven't read them all, but the ones I've read, if everybody read them, I don't see how anybody could be against system. One of the things is let's try to change the HIPAA laws to where law enforcement can have access to people that have mental problems that's been involuntary committed, so that you can deny those people the right to get a permit or be able to purchase a gun. But law-abiding citizens, the Supreme Court have said that is a right. They've clearly defined that as a right that you have, and that the government can't take it away. Look, in Washington, D.C., they tried to do that up there, and the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. I mean, I'm 100% for it. But now a lot of these groups are wanting politicians to get up and start hollering. They're going to be like George Wallace was when he stood at the schoolhouse door, and I loved Governor Wallace to death, but he knew that was nothing more than trying to pander to a base, and that's
Speaking
just
of
crap.
that, the kid at the time, the college student that was denied, that James Hood, just passed away down in Montgomery. I think he was 73 years old, 73, over the weekend. Showed a shot of him. Ronnie, looking back to Saturday down there, that was a great venue to have on that east side of the square. It had a good crowd, well controlled, and it was you guys were there, and there were a lot of good speakers there.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for people to voice their rights, and the Constitution, which every one of us knows that this country was built on the 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, and we all held our hands to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, the laws of Alabama, and the laws of the city of Athens, Alabama. So I don't know that there's a question other than what the sheriff said that I've talked about a lot. When you feel the polarization that's going on, particularly, I think, between party politics, I think it's a real challenge at a time for us to come together and unite. We know who the president is for the next 4 years. We know who a lot of the politicians are, and I would rather work together for the positive.
I agree with you 100%. We can't keep complaining about what we got. We've got to learn to work with it now.
Right.
I want to remind everybody, too, in case we don't get the Bill of Rights rally that was there Saturday morning will be on YouTube later this morning, along with the march, yes, the Martin Luther King Jr. march, in case we don't get to all that video today. But I agree with Ronnie. I mean, we got to learn. Everybody's got to work together. And if people, some the Republican Party especially, doesn't change their ways nationally, they're never going to get back in there again.
Well, like I said, both parties have gotten to the point where there's so much polarization. And the NRA, which I don't know how a lot of people feel about it. I used to be a member, but I quit being a member of the NRA years ago when we were trying to get a ban on cop killer bullets down. And I know some people think, well, I should have a right to have cop killer bullets, which is the armor piercing. Right. There were some officers that were killed because some bank robbers had these bullets, and we tried to get a ban on it. The NRA fought it, and so I quit paying my membership dues. I don't know why the NRA would want to fight that, but they're not necessarily a partisan organization. They're going to spend money to beat Democrats or Republicans if they don't lockstep to everything they say. And they benefit from tragedies that happened, like what happened at school up in Connecticut, because they sell more memberships. They try to get people scared to death that because something like that happened, that the government's going to take their guns. Well, we ain't going to be taking nobody's guns. The government can't take your guns. I mean, but common sense and, law-abiding citizens need to understand there's some people that don't need guns, and those kind of people you need to keep
a lot of people
from.
don't need guns.
I tell Jamie drugs are illegal too, but they're still out there everywhere.
That's exactly right. The one thing that concerns me is both sides, the far right, the far left, they really don't care about coming together and working for what is the best. They are just against anything that the other side is for, and it doesn't matter whether it's something to solve. Now, I understand that, there's going to be some moves to maybe like ban the high-capacity magazines and some things like that right there. I've always had to put a plug in my gun to go hunting. Can't shoot a shotgun 3 times instead of shooting 6, but you can have a 100-round magazine to shoot at people with. I don't understand that.
All right, Mayor, anything else happening here in the great city?
No,
anything coming up next couple of weeks you know about?
No, nothing real big. We're working a few industrial projects, and no, I can't tell you the name of them. And and some retail
about to open.
I have heard that they're trying to get Jimmy's to move to Athens, and that would bring in a lot of tax dollars.
No, we going.
Are you spreading that rumor? They already contacted us once, and we heard their business over there.
Talking about this polarization, this serious. I read once.
Are you talking about polars in a poll?
No, not at all. No, not what Harold said that day. No, on the cow issue. But
keep your hands to your side, Ronnie.
What I was talking, I read once upon a time. You got me all mixed up. That the good Lord must look down on us and say, "Boy, how stupid can you be? You really just don't get the whole picture, do you?" And it seems like that this is becoming more and more evident every time we want to bow up on each other and fight instead of unite. I just call on everybody to try to work together for what's the right thing.
I do want to give a shout out to a person that Gloria is working with to get on the show for their first appearance ever on here, to get some of his opinions and observation on something. Mr. Quentin Anderson will be making an appearance on the program here before long, and we look forward to, he wants to know what the subject's going to be. The subject, Mr. Anderson, we're honored to have you up here when you can make it, is about you and what your opinions are on everything. So I'm looking forward to having him up here, Ronnie. We won't have you here that day.
That'll be just fine.
Anything else to do?
We met for a long time and had a lot of good things.
He's a very knowledgeable
we discussed
individual.
about, and yeah, we do. And he and I just don't get along on a lot of issues, and I'm fine with that, and he's fine with that. So.
Sheriff, good to see you. Anything else?
Yeah, the sheriff's office now has Facebook.
Oh, boy.
I also have Facebook.
Oh, boy, I noticed that.
And there's a lot of people that ask some questions, and I promise I'll get to answering those. I've been out of town at supporting our rodeo queen.
Do you know how to do it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to take.
I'm
You
a
on
Facebook
and
fool,
you on
let me
iPad.
tell you.
CountryRover@gmail.com. I don't have to do Facebook all up, but anything. CountryRover@gmail.com gets me each and every time. We'll have that video for you tomorrow. You can see it on YouTube today. Sorry, but y'all did a good job with that rally downtown Saturday. It was a good day down there. We're going to get out of here. For anything else?
Nope, we're good.
Get out of here. I like Mike.
You should too.
Get some buttons, Ronnie. Okay. We'll take a break on this Tuesday. We'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow.
Bye.